Welcome back to the Inner Circle show. In today's episode, Dan Ives has been doubling down on his optimism about Tesla, Palantir win yet another contract, and more. But before we get into all of that, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn your notifications on so you do not miss an upload Monday through Friday. So Dan Ives from Wedbush, I'm sure you know who he is already. He is very optimistic, very bullish on a number of positions that we talk about on this channel, including Tesla, Palantir and Nvidia. He is the guy that wears very, very out there, very bright and colourful outfits. I really like what he has to say, and he has appeared on CNBC twice recently talking about Tesla, once on the 22nd and once on the 29th. Now, he has been bullish on Tesla for quite a while, but recently it seems as though he has been doubling down. He is seeing a switch take place. So instead of you having to go away and watch both of those clips and think about what he said, I will summarize all of it for you. He thinks that Tesla's recovery story has now begun. We have the Q2 delivery numbers coming up this week, and he believes that they might not be the best numbers ever, but they will be the mark of the end of the worst that we've seen, especially when it comes to China's numbers. He thinks that onwards from this point, after the delivery numbers, things should start looking very different. He mentioned that the Robotaxi event, which is of course coming up very, very soon on the 8th of August, should start a big run up in Tesla stock for the second half of 2024. He talks about how EV demand, generally speaking, has been a little bit soft recently globally, but he said that we are now not really seeing price cuts happen anymore in terms of Tesla. We are seeing a stabilization. We are seeing China demand starting to pick up, which I actually spoke about in a recent episode about how the data is now showing us that the sales in China, we count that by registrations, is now looking very positive. It's on the upward movement. He spoke about what could happen in the political landscape of America, and he actually said that he thinks that a Trump presidency would be very, very bullish for Tesla, but it would be quite negative for the overall EV picture. So let me know what you think about that in the comments below. He said something that I absolutely agree with, and that is that Tesla is the most undervalued AI play currently in the market. And I couldn't agree with that more if I tried. I spoke about this recently in a video that I made, and that video, I'll leave it linked on the screen now. That came out Saturday just gone, and it was focused on Optimus. But even if you take Optimus, or you take the Robotaxi platform, or you just take their AI that they currently have in the company, whatever aspect of Tesla that you look at, you know, they are undervalued. The intrinsic value of the company is way higher than what we are seeing in the stock price right now. And I think that will only, it will only be undervalued for a matter of time. At some point, the market will naturally catch up. But yeah, I do agree. And, in that video that I've just told you about, I was looking at the numbers associated with Optimus, and it got absolutely insane very, very quickly. So if you do want to watch that, watch it here now on the screen. But I do agree with him. I do think that Tesla is the most undervalued AI company in the market, because a lot of people are not thinking that it's even an AI company. People are still stuck in the idea that it is a car company, let alone a tech company, let alone a software company, let alone a leader in real-world AI. And he went on to say that the AI portion of Tesla's business is worth $1 to $2 trillion alone. Now, I know what he means, and I know that he's saying Tesla's AI is really, really valuable. But to me, the AI is so integrated across Tesla's business areas, and it will be moving forward as well. It's kind of hard to separate that and just say that Tesla's AI is worth this and this is worth this, because, their vehicles are robots on wheels, is FSD, a massive use case of real world AI. Optimus will be, what I'm saying, AI is very integrated across Tesla. But again, I agree with him that the AI at Tesla is some of the best real-world AI that is currently being seen. And then in one of the interviews, he went on to say that he thinks Tesla stock could double in the next 12 to 18 months. And if you know what the Robotaxi platform could do for Tesla's market cap, you do start to understand how this is actually possible. And then people would say, well, Robotaxis are definitely not going to impact Tesla for another 5, 6, 7, 8 years. I think we are getting closer than what people think. But, even let's just remove Robotaxis. Let's remove Optimus. Let's remove Robotaxis. Could the stock still double in the next 1 year or 2 year time period? I do think so. Obviously, the car portion of Tesla is very dependent on the macro situation, who's going to be in the lead in terms of the president in America. There's going to be many influencing factors. But even so, I do think it's possible. But personally, I don't like to try and say what Tesla stock will be worth in 1 year. I'm thinking way longer term than that. So I'm happy just to keep buying at this point for sure. Then the interviewer referenced an article, and it was this one here. And it says the Tesla internal data shows company has slashed at least 14% of their workforce this year. So having a look at some key points here, Tesla internal records viewed by CNBC suggest the company employs just over 121,000 people, and this includes temporary workers. As of the end of December, Tesla had 140,473 employees worldwide, according to a filing, a number that includes hourly and salaried workers. CEO Elon Musk said in April that Tesla would be cutting more than 10% of its global workforce. So it showed that he's followed through on that statement, and, going by these numbers from what CNBC have seen in data, they have actually cut the workforce back by 14%. I believe that article goes on to say that Tesla hasn't actually made a comment on this, so whether or not, 14% is the exact amount, or it's more like 17 or more like 9%, who really knows the exact number, but I definitely think work layoffs have happened across the Tesla business. And Dan Ives made a similar comment as to what I would say on this, and that is that Elon Musk and Tesla are just reacting to what's happening in the world, and they are doing what they need to do. They're being proactive to make sure that they are not spending too money when they are bringing less money in. They're looking at what's happening globally in terms of EV sales. Like Dan said earlier, they have been a little bit soft recently, so it makes sense to cut back, save some money, and actually make sure that the people that you do have working for you are being productive and adding to the business. So do let me know what you think about this in the comments below, and let me know if you think that Tesla stock could double in the next 12 to 18 months. We have had a number of differing price targets and opinions when it comes to Palantir recently. Now, one particular analyst that works out of Bank of America has been for a long time quite bullish on Palantir. And she is an analyst as well that does a lot of research and really understands Palantir at a deeper level than I think a lot of other analysts do. So a few days ago, Bank of America came out with a new report on Palantir, and they reiterated their $28 price target. So I want to just have a little look at what they've actually said their reasonings are. So you can see here, they have reiterated a buy rating with a price target of $28 per share. And when they wrote this article, the price was $25.22 per share. So they are still seeing more room for growth, and they believe that Palantir is absolutely worth that extra price. So let's just take a look. So you've got fundamentals. Disruption is the new normal. Disruption has defined the first half of 2024. Across industries, we saw disruption in supply chains, production delays, and labour constraints. In the markets, disruption ranged from inflation to economic growth and varying Fed expectations. However, we argue the most disruptive theme has come from the proliferation of artificial intelligence. We're still in the early innings of AI adoption and expect Palantir to continue to see upside from this trend. So it says see inside, we won't have time to read the whole article, but they're speaking about defense AI integration preparing for takeoff, the commercial section of Palantir, momentum from boot camps and other channels, and also other catalysts including the S&P 500 inclusion could add institutions, and again, they maintain their buy rating, $28 price target. It also goes and talks about the technicals of the stock. Now, I'm not going to give this too much time because I'm not really into the technical analysis of stocks particularly. Just in case you are interested, they are thinking that there is a bullish correction setting up the move towards 30. Palantir remains bullish within bullish trends on an absolute price basis and relative to the S&P 500. So on the analysis of technicals, I believe what they are saying is it looks to be ready to run up to 30. But let me know if I've understood that incorrectly in the comments below. So yes, we have had a reiteration of a good price target and a buy rating from Bank of America. But on top of that, we just keep seeming to get more and more contracts. And we've recently heard about another. So in last week's episodes, we spoke about a number of new Palantir partnerships. We had the partnership with Starlab Space. We also had the partnership with the Advanced Research Projects Agency for Health. And we had that indirect partnership that was happening between Mayo Clinic and Surgeons. Surgeons being a platform and ecosystem that was designed, which was built on Foundry, designed by both Palantir and Concordance Health. But today I have another one to tell you about. This is separate. Well, it does link in a little bit, but this is a new contract that is separate from those three. And it is another space-related contract. I don't know where they're coming from, but at the moment, Palantir quite literally seems to be going to space. But let's take a look. So this was released on the 27th of June. So Voyager Space and Palantir announced strategic partnership leveraging artificial intelligence to drive innovation in space technology. I love these ones. These are so interesting to actually dig into and see what's going on here. So Voyager Space, a global leader in space exploration, today announced a strategic partnership with Palantir Technologies. So I just want to point out something here. Oh, it's going to talk about this actually looking down here. But basically, this isn't the first time that Palantir has worked with Voyager Space. They announced a partnership, a piece of work that they were doing with them back in February 2024, so earlier this year. I think it was February. You can go and have a look at that announcement and see exactly what they were doing. But that one, the one earlier this year, was actually mentioning Palantir. So instead of saying Palantir Technologies, it said Palantir Technologies USG. So that is telling us that that partnership, the one earlier this year, was focused on Palantir's government side, the USG bit. Whereas this one seems to be on their commercial side because they've not said USG, they've just said Palantir Technologies, a leading builder of artificial intelligence systems for the modern enterprise. Together, Voyager and Palantir will rapidly advance the space and defense technology sectors by integrating Palantir's cutting-edge AI tools across the Voyager enterprise. This partnership solidifies Voyager's commitment to leading the space industry in AI-driven innovation, ensuring robust and agile solutions for defense and commercial applications. So yeah, it's saying right there, and commercial applications. Expanding on a previous MOU announced earlier this year, that's what I was just telling you about. Voyager will now fully integrate Palantir's AI capabilities into their defense solutions, benefiting from Palantir's deep expertise delivering for the Department of Defense. This collaboration enhances communications, military research and development, as well as intelligence and space research, making space more accessible to the defense community and vice versa. This bit's interesting as well. They will now leverage Palantir's Foundry and artificial intelligence platform to drive value in its in-house payload management system for the International Space Station customers today. Now, this is where it links in to the other partnership that I told you about last week, the Starlab one, as well as onboard the Starlab commercial space station in the future. It is also building a prototype customer hub for its customers to submit payload requests via Palantir software. So this one is coming shortly after the announcement with Starlab, which is where Palantir will become the exclusive supplier of enterprise-wide software data management solutions for the Starlab commercial space station. So I love to see that we're getting even more contracts. Hopefully this will continue and we'll learn about even more maybe this week, maybe next week. But it does seem that they are really building momentum with these space contracts at the moment. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below. On the screen now are the topics we will talk about exclusively on the Vault this week. And if you're a Vault member, I'm going to continue this episode and speak a little bit more about Tesla today, in particular their services, their supercharging network. If you're not a Vault member, thank you so much for watching this show. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in tomorrow's episode. If you want to watch these episodes ad-free, get exclusive and extended content and a bunch of other perks, become an insider of the Inner Circle Vault. Link in the description.